So I'm going to walk you guys through very simple steps in getting the data from the Utah Geological Survey. You can go to geology.utah.gov, scroll down on the right here and expand out the databases and data. Scroll down, you'll find some GIS data you can click on. And then these are various geologic maps that you can download. And you'll want to download this Logan zip file here. So you'll download that to your machine. I've dumped mine in a folder called raw data. The zip file is Logan 3060, which refers to 30 minutes by 60 minutes, which is the size of the map. And so if we go into that after we've unfolded it, there's a couple of things that you'll find in here. One, you can open up this MXD file if you like. I'm not going to at the moment. Well, actually, I'll show that to you. So here it is. And basically you can see that they've gone through and done a nice job of formatting everything for you, and the lab could be over in 2 seconds if all you had to do was use this, but that's not what you're going to do. The problem with this is 60 minutes by 30 minutes, and what we want to do is a little 8.5 by 11 version. This is something that fits on I don't know, it's probably a 24 by 36 sheet at least. And so what we want to do is fit something on an 8.5 by 11 that is at the same scale and uses these same layers. And so that we'll have to do on our own. So I'm going to minimize that for a second, and I'm going to show you this PDF. And what that PDF is, if you just bear with me for 1 second here. Drag this over. So that PDF has this cover sheet, and if you were to zoom in, for example, to where we'll be working. So there's Smithfield, Hyde Park, right, Logan. So we're going to work around in this area. This symbology that they've used, we want to be able to reproduce. Some of the things that we want to be able to reproduce in this are scale bar features, this little locator map, and on the second sheet of this, we're going to want to fit some of this legend stuff, but on our own page. And some of the things that are specifically important with geologic maps is with this legends are rather big because there's a lot of rock types when we show it at that broader scale. But they organize these rock types by age, right? And so most recent stuff here, if we can get it to show up, not so bad. It's Quaternary, right? So those broken into Holocene, Pleistocene, Miocene, Tertiary, Cretaceous, Jurassic. And so it'd be one thing to just organize a legend alphabetically. It's a whole other thing to have to realize what each of these things refer to and organize them in terms of geologic time. Plus you'll find some symbols here for anticlines, synclines, various thrust faults, etc. And so these are the sorts of line types that we need to be able to match. So we will attempt to reproduce this sort of stuff in our own legends. So that's kind of the scope of what we're going to try and do, as well as where the data is coming from. And you'll notice also in this data, if I bring this back up, that we have a number of shape files, right? So here's folds, here's geolines, here's geounits. Then there's a base layer, which is a raster. And looks like they've got that in both color and black and white. Then there's various symbols, etc., cross sections. And notice that a lot of these have layer files, and those layer files are important because they control the symbology with which that is added to the map. And so one of the things that is really nice about what the Utah Geologic Survey has done is they've provided these layers files so we don't have to go and manually figure out all the symbology. So I'm going to go in, hit add data in a blank map here. And I'm in my data view. Oh, that's always a good sign when ARC's not responding. Usually means things are working. Okay. So where did I hide this stuff? So get in here. Lab 3, raw data. There we go. So instead of just adding the individual layer files, so like GeoUnits, if I add this, it's just going to be a big blob of polygons unsymbolized. So I don't want you to add this. See how that's all of those layers? Because now I'd have to go in, and to know what to do with those, I would have to go into my attribute table, and I'd have to find out, okay, which one do I want to organize by? Is it unit name or a unit symbol? Okay, so I would go and use one of those two, and I would have to go to my properties, symbology, categories, and go to unit name, add all values, right? And here they are. Of course, the colors aren't anything like what are in that other thing. And so this would take quite a long time to get all these right. What I can do instead, I'm going to show you two things actually. What I'd like you to do is just add the GeoUnits layer file, not the shape file, and then that's going to bring in the correct symbology. So look, all those colors all sorted out, figured out for you already. One of the things that you can do, if you've brought in a shape file and you have a layer file, is you can go to the properties of it and you can hit import, and you can browse for that layer file, and that is the value field we want to use to import it by. And then what it will do is update that with the correct symbology. So you can use layer files to add, or you can use them to update symbology. All a layer file is shows the address of a shapefile, as well as all of the information that's stored in the symbology tab. Okay. So we look at the instructions here. I told you to bring in the base, the GeoUnits, which we already have, GeoLines, folds, map symbols, to bring in all of those. So let's go for that. So we'll just bring in folds. We already brought in GeoUnits. We'll bring in lines, bring in that base, bring in map symbols, and that'll do us for now. We're not going to bring in the cross-section layers, because what those refer to are these cross-sections. And if we look on the third or the first page, those cross-sections do show up, these long guys. So here we are, there's section C. And those are slicing right through, and we're not going to show those because we're not going to include cross-sections in the maps that we make. Okay, so I'm going to add all those layers. Here they come in, one great big mess, and a few little things we got to do to clean up. So we do want Logan base at the bottom, and we do want, actually we got lucky here with the order. We got folds on tops, the geologic lines, map symbols. The unit layers that we used here are underneath those, but we should make those transparent. So I just double clicked on that. Go into the display tab, and we'll make that transparent so that we can see that USGS quad, this Logan base TIFF, underneath that. Okay. So that is how we get all the layers in to the data view, and they are all correctly symbolized. Alright, we'll let you play around with that, and then we'll have a little video for some of the next steps in getting things ready.